Hello everyone and welcome to the recap of the last livestream. As always, the information in this video is machine translated, so there might be some mistakes, but without further ado, let's begin. First, we got some QoL changes. We can see the next levels when upgrading a Kyoku, a portrait, or a special attack, even when lacking the materials to do so. It's not a big change, but it's pretty nice. The next one, however, is really good. As you know, every enemy in this game has elemental weaknesses and resistances, as well as resistances to some ailments. Previously we didn't have the exact values of these in-game, but after the update we will. In this screenshot, for example, we can see that the boss will take 20% more damage and break depletion from characters with an elemental advantage, but attacking with an element the enemy has a resistance to will deal 30% less damage. This was always the case, so this doesn't change much, but it's nice to be able to see it in-game. There's also an indicator whenever you hit an enemy that displays if you hit its weakness or not, with each element having its own particle effect. But this change is really good, especially for the ailments, because although the damage resistance is almost always the same, not every boss has the same resistance to every ailments. Here we can see that the boss has a pretty high resistance to burn, but its resistance to other ailments is pretty low, so this can make team building way easier when needing to bring a character that can inflict ailments. And another change that is a massive time saver is the ability to skip most of the tower stages. You can now start the tower from 10 layers below your highest layer cleared instead of doing it all over again every time. And the final change will only really matter for the top players, but in score attack, damage over 10 million will now be displayed. I wonder if someone will be able to hit 999 million to see if they will raise the damage cap even more. Alright, with all the minor changes out of the way, let's get to probably the biggest announcement of the stream: link raids. Link raids are bosses that you can fight along other players, either from your union or not, and you can choose to do it alone, but it will probably be hard to do so if you're not a whale. When choosing to fight the boss, you can send a help request, and other players can answer it, up to a maximum of 10 players at a time. You will then all fight the boss at the same time. Each player fight the boss individually, but the damage they deal will be reflected for all players. It just say the boss's HP will be updated at regular intervals, so it may be after a certain amount of time, since there is a timer in the top left of the screen, or every round. The boss available to fight in link raids will change each season, but we don't know yet how long a season will last. Each season will also have special bonuses that may favorite different characters or playstyles. Link raids will have an exchange shop as well as missions to earn a bunch of materials and gems, as well as a daily bonus. To receive the daily bonus, you must clear a raid that you created 3 times per day, which means that joining another player's raid won't count towards your daily bonus. The first boss available will be the Sandbox Witch, and she's weak to Aqua, Dark and Void, so it may be wise to farm Crystallis for characters that may be useful for this fight right now in order to prepare for it. We also have a new event that will come with a new score attack against the Yuasa of the anonymous AI. But most importantly, a new main story chapter to the Magia record story. Along with this new chapter, there will be a login bonus as well as new missions to get a bunch of materials, most notably Prism and Elemental Cores. Once you complete the new story, the boss will be added to the Heartfile quests. And to finish this video, let's take a quick look at the new character, Holy Mami. She is a dark attacker, and to summarize her kit, you can just imagine her as a dark element Oriko. The more enemies there are, the stronger she is. Another similarity between the two is that when there is less enemies on the field, their attacks will deal additional damage. The difference is that the additional damage of Oriko's skill only works when there are less than 5 enemies on the field, but the additional damage hit all enemies. Meanwhile, for Holy Mami, her additional damage will always works, but each hit will only affect 1 enemy, so the damage is spread out. For example, against 4 enemies, Oriko's special attack will deal 320% damage, then 10% damage to all of them for a total of 1320% damage. And Holy Mami's special attack will deal 260% damage to all of them, and then another 260% split between enemies for a total of 1300%. There's also the fact that half of Oriko's ability just doesn't work against 1 enemy, while Mami still get 5% attack, which isn't a lot, but at least she still gets something. I'm not gonna go further in this video, but you just need to keep in mind that Mami deals less damage than Eriko against 5 enemies, but her damage suffers way less when you kill some enemies and there is just one left on the field. Mami also has the advantage of buffing her own speed, potentially allowing her to attack more. Mami's banner will have the same system as the summer banners, where at 15k gems you will get a 5-star key, and a guaranteed 5-star at 30k with 12% chance of it being Holy Mami. But keep in mind that she is not a limited character, so she will be added to the standard pool later. That's it for this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and if you noticed any mistakes, don't hesitate to leave a comment. Goodbye and see you soon.